Lesson number 95 is about reducing units before multiplying. And our first question says, multiply 55 miles per hour by 6 hours. So if we were to set this problem up, we could have 55 miles, and whenever we see the word per, it means division or a fraction bar. So 55 miles per 1 hour, and we can just write hour because, well, there must be 1 there if we've written it. We want to multiply that by 6 hours. So we're going to multiply by 6 hours, and that's going to be 6 hours over 1 because we're multiplying fractions. Before we go ahead and answer this question, let's look at another example briefly. If we were to look at a problem like this, let's say we had 7 over 1 times 3 over 7. If we had this problem, we know that we can simplify before we multiply. Whenever we have the same value on top and the bottom, 7 over 7, that's the same thing as 1 over 1. So our answer here in red, 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 1 is 1, so we get 3 over 1, which is the same thing as 3. Now we're going to use that same logic here, because when we have hours on top of hours, that's the same thing as 1 over 1, because anything divided by itself is just equal to 1, whether it's a number or a unit. So now we can find our answer. Our answer is going to be 55 miles times 6. That's all going to be over 1, because 1 times 1 is 1. Let's go through the math. 55 times 6, 6 times 5, that's 30, and we'll carry the 3. 6 times 5 is 30 again, plus 3 more is 33. So we get 330. Our label here, it must be miles. So we get 330 miles, we can abbreviate over 1. We'll simplify our answer below. 330 miles must be our answer. So when we multiply 55 miles per hour by 6 hours, after we've canceled out our label of hours, we get a final answer of 330 miles. We've got one more problem in our lesson today. Let's use red. We want to multiply 5 feet by 12 inches per foot. So 5 feet, and we're going to put that 5 feet over 1 because we're multiplying it by 12 inches. Per, that means fraction bar or division, per 1 foot. If we write foot, it must mean 1 foot. Now we know in this problem, we've got feet divided by foot. Well, feet and foot are the same thing. One's plural and one's singular. So we can simplify them by canceling them out and making them equal to 1. So what we're going to get in this problem is 5 times 12 over 1 times 1. 1 times 1, that's 1. And 5 times 12, that must be 60. And we've got our label here left over of inches. So we've got 60 inches over 1. Well, we know that's the same thing as 60 inches. So if we wanted to, we could just extend our box right here to say 60 inches as our final answer. Again, we've got to cancel out our units that are similar, one on top, one on bottom, in order to help us simplify to get the right answer. Lesson practice will be on page 509. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.